Airbnb is the world's biggest vacation rental website. You may have used them. I certainly use them when I take trips with my family. And it's a really fun experience to stay in a local community in a privately owned residence. I've traveled Europe, Latin America, all over the United States in Airbnbs, especially to those remote areas, like, for example, in the Western states, small towns where they have beautiful sceneries and you get to stay in a private residence. It's a lot of fun. Airbnb is growing very fast and really disrupting traditional markets, and at the same time providing a new way of staying when you're on a trip, which is really, really neat. I wanted to analyze the company and go over my process of investing in Airbnb. I'm a current investor, stockholder of Airbnb. I'll go through my analysis of their financials, where I think the company is valued, and what I'm going to be doing with the stock, whether I'm going to continue to buy shares, just hold, or sell my shares in Airbnb. Do me a favor and like my video and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. Now let's get into Airbnb. Vacation rentals, home sharing is a new phenomenon in real estate. 20 years ago, roughly, that you could find a vacation rental and you typically went to these small websites, or you just knew that in a particular touristy spot, let's say Lake Tahoe, you knew that people rented places. So you would go through a travel agent, maybe go online, get somebody's phone number, and then make reservations. Airbnb came into this space and really centralized a lot of the demand, a lot of the interest in home sharing, and they have taken the leading market share in this industry. They also provided a much better experience for the traveler. The traveler can really search really the world for vacation rentals, which is a big plus. They have a consistent process of renting a place. They're able to review a homeowner and then provide that review. So the next person that's renting really has a sense of, hey, is that a good property or a bad property? So Airbnb has really taken a space, which is the traveler, and given them a new product, which is privately owned residences, privately owned apartments, and you can also rent out rooms. So if you're on a budget, you can just rent out a room and crash for a night or two in a particular city. Now they compete against hotels. They compete against traditional, lodging. And I would say that, hotels are probably incredibly concerned about Airbnb. And the reason for it is that I think the hotel product is beginning to look a little stale. It is beginning to look pretty limited. If you think about staying in a full residence, let's say that residence gives you 2,000 square feet versus renting out a hotel room that is 200 to 300 square feet. I mean, where would you want to stay with your family? There's no choice. I'd rather be in a bigger place. And also the experiences you get on Airbnb. You can stay integrated into a community that you're visiting. For example, if you're in Europe, you can stay in a community within, Europe in a small city or a small village. You kind of feel like you're experiencing being a part of that community for the time you're there, which is really cool. So all in all, Airbnb, I think, has got a huge addressable market, which is homeowners or property owners around the world that want to rent to vacationers or people that want to have short-term stays. They go to the number one, website in the world, which is Airbnb, to list their properties, and vice versa. Travelers go to Airbnb because they have the best choice of vacation properties to choose from. Airbnb is one of my biggest holdings, and here's why. They're growing their revenue, and they've grown over 50%. They're on a 50% growth clip over the last 3 years. They're profitable. So to be growing that fast and be profitable, that's very unique. And just to make the situation even more interesting, they generate very high free cash flow. I'm a value investor, so when you generate free cash flow, you make me happy. Airbnb is currently being discounted from a stock price perspective, and there's upside in the stock of 42%. And what I mean by that is I believe each share is really worth about $188 per share, but the stock market will sell you shares at $132 per share. I value Airbnb using two methods, using their free cash flows and discounting those free cash flows that I expect all the free cash flows in the future to today's value using net present value as a calculation. And based on free cash flows, I think there's upside in the stock of 50%, meaning the stock is worth $198, but the stock market will sell you shares at $132. Earnings per share looks great. They have very good earnings per share. It's a very high growth company and they're profitable, generating free cash. So they deserve a really high PE. And based on earnings per share, I think that there's upside in the stock of 27%. Combined to get to 42% because I take free cash flows and put more weight into free cash flows and less weight into earnings per share. I actually take 2/3 of free cash flow, 1/3 of earnings per share to get to that number. Right now, return on invested capital is not as high as I would like, but they are a growing company. This, 2022 was their first profitable year. I'm expecting they're going to be more profitable in 2023. So this metric is going to improve after the full year 2023. Debt to EBITDA, way under control. They're just at 0.69. I want it to be less than 3. Reason for it is very low debt. So the company has very low debt. They have more than enough cash to pay off that debt just completely. So the balance sheet is in great health. Looking at where Airbnb is traded over the last 3 years, they've been public since about 2021, beginning of 2021. And, when they first IPO'd, the stock price was nice and high. It's really settled down and really has been trading around this range and over the last 2 years and offered up really nice, buy-in prices to average in a purchase into Airbnb. I think there's a good discount available on the company. Even though they're up 55% year to date, it still has a really good upside in the stock. Over the last, I would say, week and a half, the stock market's been down and the stock's actually down 10%. I have a process I follow when I invest in a stock. I've developed it over years and I ask myself 4 questions and then make a decision to buy, hold, or sell. The first question is, do I want to be a part owner in this company? And do I like the industry? And in the case of Airbnb, it's absolutely just a great business, a really exciting industry. The company is led by really brilliant people. They're doing a great job growing Airbnb. As mentioned, the balance sheet's in great health, way below 3 times EBITDA. Nice discount on the stock, especially in the month of September. The stock's down a little more than 10%. So it offers a nice price to average in my purchases. Therefore, I'm going to continue to buy and accumulate Airbnb stock. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Do me a favor and like my video and subscribe to my channel. That'd really be helpful. Good luck investing in 2023.